Have you ever stopped to think about the very first journey you ever took? I'm not talking about a car ride or your first flight. I mean the incredible, wild, step-by-step journey of your own birth. It's this brilliant mechanical process, a perfect dance between a baby and the mother's body. So how does it actually work? Let's break it down. All right, here's our game plan. We're going to follow this journey from start to finish. First, we'll set the stage. Then, we'll see the baby make its first big move, called engagement. We'll follow the trip down, watch a super crucial turn, see the head finally emerge, and then wrap up with the final moves that bring the baby all the way into the world. Okay, so every great journey needs a map and a compass, right? Well, in childbirth, that means we first have to understand the baby's starting position. Getting these basics down is absolutely critical for everything that's about to happen. First up, we have something called lie. This is all about alignment. The easiest way to think about it is like a train on a track. For a smooth ride, you want the baby's spine to be parallel with the mother's spine. We call this a longitudinal lie, and it lines the baby up perfectly with the birth canal. It's setting the stage for a straight shot out. Next, we've got presentation. Basically, who's leading the charge? In an ideal world, it's the head. This is called a cephalic presentation. You know, the head is kind of like the baby's own little battering ram. It's the widest and firmest part. And the logic here is really simple. If the head can make it through that narrow passage, the rest of the body can follow, no problem. And finally, there's station. Think of this as the GPS for our journey, tracking how far down the baby has come. Doctors measure this against these bony points in the pelvis called the ischial spines. When the baby's head reaches those points, it hits what's called zero station. Now, this isn't just some random number. It's a huge milestone. It means the baby is truly locked in and the journey is officially on. So, our map is set, the baby is in the perfect starting position, and now the journey really begins with the first official step, engagement. So, what is engagement exactly? Well, it's that moment when the absolute widest part of the baby's head has successfully passed through the entrance of the pelvis. Imagine it like a ship leaving a wide harbor and entering a narrow channel. Once it's in, there's no turning back. And what's really fascinating is that the timing for this can be totally different. For first-time moms, the baby might get into position weeks before labor even starts, sort of like giving an early heads up. But for moms who've done this before, the body already knows the drill and engagement might not even happen until labor is already going strong. Okay, once the baby's engaged, it starts its journey downward. And this isn't just a passive drop. No. It's a powerful push combined with a really brilliant instinctive adjustment that makes the whole thing possible. This all happens with two key actions at the same time. First, you have descent. That's the steady downward movement powered by contractions. But while that's happening, the baby does something incredibly smart called flexion. It tucks its chin right down to its chest. Why? Because this presents the narrowest part of its head to the pelvis. It's like turning a big piece of furniture sideways to get it through a door. A simple, brilliant move to save space. So, the baby is on its way down, but now it faces its biggest challenge yet. This brings us to what I think is the most elegant, most mechanically precise part of this whole journey, a crucial turn that the baby has to make to keep going. Here's the puzzle. The pelvis isn't just a simple round tube. The shape actually changes. The entrance is widest from side to side, kind of like a horizontal oval, but the exit is widest from front to back, a vertical oval. So the head comes in one way, but it must rotate to get out the other way. It simply won't fit if it goes straight. And the solution to this puzzle is unbelievably precise. The baby makes a 45-degree turn, exactly 1/8 of a circle. This isn't random at all. This specific rotation perfectly aligns the longest part of its head with the widest part of the exit. It's just beautiful biomechanics in action. But how? I mean, really, how does this happen? The baby doesn't have a steering wheel in there. What in the world is guiding this perfect, life-giving rotation? Well, the answer is in the mother's pelvic floor. As the head descends, it presses against these muscles, and they act like a soft, sloping ramp. Their natural shape and tension gently guide the baby's head, encouraging it to make that perfect 45-degree turn forward. It's this incredible biological feedback loop, a physical conversation happening between the baby and the mother's body. It's amazing. And with that crucial turn complete, the head is now perfectly aligned for its grand appearance. The hardest part of the passage is over, and the baby is literally moments away from meeting the world. Now, the head doesn't just push straight out. Instead, it performs this move called extension. The back of the neck kind of pivots against the mother's pubic bone, almost like a hinge, which lets the head emerge in an upward arc. And as the face is born, the chin lifts from the chest for the very first time. The head is out. Hallelujah. But hold on, the journey isn't quite over yet. The next widest part of the baby, the shoulders, now have to navigate that same exact pathway. So the very first thing that happens once the head is free is a movement called restitution. Remember that 45-degree turn the head made? Well, the shoulders didn't make that turn, so the neck is a little bit twisted. The head will now just naturally, almost passively, untwist itself to line back up with the shoulders. And this is where it gets really, really brilliant. As the head rotates on the outside to face the side again, that movement is transferred down the neck, and it causes the shoulders, which are still inside, to rotate internally. It's a linked mechanism. A simple turn on the outside solves the whole puzzle on the inside, perfectly aligning the shoulders with the widest part of that pelvic exit. With the shoulders now perfectly lined up, the final act happens fast. The top shoulder emerges first, then the bottom shoulder follows. And once the shoulders are free, the rest of the body, which is much narrower, just slips right out with ease. And just like that, the journey is complete. So let's just quickly recap that incredible sequence. We had engagement to enter the pelvis, descent and flexion to move through it smartly, that crucial internal rotation to solve the shape puzzle, extension to actually birth the head, and finally, external rotation to align and deliver the shoulders. These are the cardinal movements of labor, a precise, beautiful biological program. You know, when you see it all broken down like this, you realize it truly is an elegant, intricate dance. It's not chaos at all. It's a perfectly choreographed set of moves between the passenger and the passage, a process that has been honed over millions of years of evolution. So often we call birth a miracle, and I mean, it is, but seeing the brilliant, logical mechanics behind it just adds this whole new layer of wonder, doesn't it? It's not just magic, it's magnificent design. So my question for you is, how does understanding the how of it all change your perspective on the miracle itself?